An Ohio deputy shot in the line of duty. We'll have an update on his condition. But first, $257 million on the line. Here's the live Powerball drawing. Good luck.
It's America's favorite jackpot game, and it's coming to you right now. Get ready, everybody. This is Powerball. Good evening, America. I'm Sam Marlin. Tonight, we've got an estimated jackpot. It is worth $257.9 million. I hope you have your Powerball tickets out. Good luck. Let's see how you did tonight. First number down is 42 to lead us off. And right after that, we've got the number 56. Here's Krishan Nolan from Tennessee. Krishan won $200,000 playing Powerball. Next number down is 22. That's followed by 55. And we're going to wind it up for you tonight with the number 45. All right, now for your winning Powerball number, it is 14 tonight. And that power play multiplier is 3. Take one more close look at tonight's winning numbers from all of us here at the Florida Powerball Studios. Have a great night. We'll see you back here this Wednesday night. Bye, everybody.
Terror in France once again. A deadly stabbing in Paris leaves that country on edge. A man found dead in Sandusky Bay. We now know his identity.
The whole crew really stepped up and really helping us out quite a bit. Appreciate it.
And a helping hand to a Maumee mother diagnosed with brain cancer just in time for Mother's Day.
This is 13 ABC Action News with Bill Horman.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. It is Mother's Day weekend, but it is not starting so well. It was cold and rainy today, but will we see nicer weather tomorrow? Ben is here. He's taking a look at the radar. Ben, what do you see?
Well, between now and tomorrow afternoon, we've got some heavy rain moving in from Wisconsin and, say, northern part of Illinois by Chicago. That pipeline continues out west, and some storms now for our southern counties, but as expected, the worst of the weather was down to our south. Here in Ottawa right now towards Findlay and the Putnam County line, about 8 fresh lightning strikes. Some of these are positive lightning strikes near Pandora and also by Bluffton. These are, as we'll loop this, pretty slow moving, so you'll see some downpours the next couple of hours. Here's your Mother's Day forecast, okay? It starts out pretty mild, right? 48 the low temp, but a sluggish warm up. We're still at 54, only 6 degrees warmer over those few hours, but we do climb late afternoon as the rain ends around 11 a.m. and not a total washout for Mom. Coming up here in just a few minutes, we'll detail how the next few hours will be a soaker for many of us, plus a warmer 7-day forecast, Bill.
All right, thanks, Ben. New at 11, and we now know the name of the man whose body was recovered from Sandusky Bay this weekend. It's the missing boater who fell overboard 2 weeks ago. The Ohio Department of Natural Resources identified the body as that of 28-year-old Justin Fidel. The Coast Guard and other first responders called off their search for him after 19 hours. Fidel was not wearing a life jacket when he fell overboard. In our crime and safety alert, an arrest in a story from earlier tonight. Police in Walbridge have taken this man in this photo into custody. They've also arrested a getaway driver. They're both suspected of being involved in a 7-Eleven robbery. There's no word on any charges they may face. Toledo police trying to find the person who shot a woman outside the Pier 7 restaurant at the docks overnight. She was hit in the leg and is expected to be okay, but no arrest yet. So call Crime Stopper if you can lead police to whoever pulled the trigger. A Franklin County deputy is recovering after he was shot in a chase today. That chase started when the suspect refused to pull over. The suspect then crashed their vehicle, opened fire, and shot the deputy. Officers returned fire and killed the driver. The deputy's in the hospital, but is expected to survive. We have an update regarding the fertility clinic scandal in Cleveland. Lawyers for university hospitals trying to stop lawsuits from people who lost their frozen eggs and embryos. They say the attorneys for those impacted by the disaster did not file the appropriate paperwork as required by Ohio law. The attorney who received the motion says university hospitals should be ashamed.
And they did it just before Mother's Day. Think about that message to people. You wanted to be a mother. We feel so bad about that. But you don't have a lawsuit because we think you have to file this kind of lawsuit.
University Hospital says it continues to offer clinical and emotional support to the affected patients. News since 6 o'clock tonight, ISIS claiming responsibility for a stabbing rampage. They killed one person and wounded at least 4 others. The suspect is now dead. Here's ABC's Mikey Kay in Paris with an update.
I'm stood just feet away from the horrific attack tonight here in Paris. Just behind me is where the attack occurred, and that is where counter-terrorism police are working very closely with forensics to try and establish what happened through gaining more evidence. We're moments away from Place de l'Opéra. It's about 3 minutes in this direction, which is an incredibly busy tourist location right in the heart of Paris. We also learned tonight that the Islamic State have indeed claimed this attack, calling the perpetrator one of its soldiers. Once again, sadly, on a very busy night in Paris, we see France on edge. Mikey Kay, ABC News, Paris.
New on the Auto Beat tonight, Ford getting its assembly lines running again. The company says employees at its Dearborn, Michigan and Kansas City, Missouri locations will return to work May 18th to make the Ford F-150. Ford has now overcome a shortage of some parts for the truck after a fire at their Lansing plant earlier this month. Vice President Mike Pence spoke to graduating seniors at Hillsdale College today. In his 15-minute speech, the vice president told the grads they are entering a world where they can thrive.
You're beginning your careers at a time of growing American economy and restored American stature at home and abroad. And I can personally attest from my travels across this nation. Faith in America is rising once again.
The vice president also said Hillsdale College is a beacon of liberty and American ideals. After being diagnosed with an aggressive brain cancer, a Maumee woman and her family are now facing massive medical bills. But tonight, some help from their community. Michael Bratton was there as loved ones rallied around Regan Cliff. Michael?
Bill, Regan's family says her diagnosis came as a total shock. Now she faces months of intense treatment. Those who know her best say they wanted to do something to help with her bills. And at the Lucas County Rec Center tonight, hundreds of people turned out in hopes of doing just that with the benefit in her honor.
It was an evening filled with food, games, and family and friends. While it was all about having a good time, it also had a purpose.
It's tough because basically your life changes in a matter of a day, you know.
In November of last year, 55-year-old Regan Cliff was diagnosed with an aggressive form of brain cancer. Her husband of 28 years says the way he found out came as a shock.
She called me, she took herself to the emergency room because she was having a headache. And then she called me and said they think they found a mass.
Cliff says doctors diagnosed his wife with stage 4 glioblastoma cancer of the brain. Combined with other medical issues, including genetic heart disease and kidney failure, Regan was forced to stop working as a dental hygienist.
You go from a two household income, to a one, things get tight pretty quick.
Saturday, Regan's friends came together to help offset her medical expenses with the benefit in her honor.
To see somebody that all of a sudden was full of life have to fight for her life has been very difficult.
The mother of 3 is already undergoing intense treatment and needs around-the-clock care. That's why organizers of the benefit made sure every dollar raised goes to Regan and her family.
We're blessed to be in the city of Maumee because they've rallied behind her. She has touched so many lives, and they're all coming out to support her.
While Regan has a long road to recovery, her family says they're grateful to their community for coming out and helping their wife and mother in her battle with cancer.
Just can't believe the outpouring, and the support that we've had. It's everywhere. It's unbelievable.
If you'd like to help with Regan's medical expenses, First Federal Bank in Maumee is accepting donations donations that is in her name. We posted a link on our website, 13abc.com, with more details. Bill?
Thanks, Michael. A local Army soldier killed protecting our freedoms overseas is now being honored in Perrysburg Township permanently. Lieutenant Colonel Thomas Belkofer was a Rossford graduate. In 2010, he was stationed in Afghanistan. He was on a training mission when a suicide bomber killed him and 17 others. Well, this afternoon, the community renamed a stretch of Route 795 in his honor.
It means a lot to Don and I when people take time to remember Tom and to commemorate his sacrifice. It always amazes me and inspires me as well to do things that I can do to give back.
You'll drive along the Belkofer Memorial Highway between Simmons and Tracy Roads on Route 795. Well, the weather wasn't the greatest, but people still came out for the Jacina Lot Jog and Jaunt 5K today. That run benefits Jacina Lot Residential and Community Services and the Miracle League of Northwest Ohio. Both help people with developmental disabilities, and 13 ABC Sports Director Justin Feldkamp was the MC. 700 girls and thousands of supporters laced up for the Girls on the Run 5K at UT this morning. This is the end of a 10-week program empowering young girls, teaching them to set goals and also some valuable life lessons. 13 ABC's Christian Brown emceed that event. More than 400 athletes from 11 counties all across Northwest Ohio competed in a Special Olympics spring meet at Sylvania Southview today. The athletes competed in various track and field events.
I think everyone always thinks of Special Olympics, thinks somebody, is in a wheelchair or it's very low key. These guys practice 2 to 3 days a week, just like any other high school sport.
The winners of today's meet qualify for the state summer games that will be held next month at Ohio State University. There are about 1,000 known carriers of HIV in Lucas County, and tonight they're getting help in the fight against the virus. This is the Sweet Dreams fundraiser benefiting the Ann Wason Locker Memorial Fund for HIV care. It's provided care to adults and children for more than 25 years.
Anytime we can get to raise awareness to the cause and to try to reduce those stigmas and also maybe put a bug in somebody's ear that maybe they should get tested.
13 ABC's Alexis Means was the MC tonight. His mission started almost 30 years ago with Tent City at the Civic Center Mall in downtown Toledo. But now Ken Leslie, the founder of One Matters and Veterans Matter, is talking about a major milestone. His organization has now helped 2,100 homeless veterans all across the country receive domestic autonomy. It's giving them a roof over their heads and a better shot for a better life.
We created a system that leverages all the existing resources in a local community. We partner with the VA, so it's automatically a prepared area. They find the veterans who need us, the homeless veterans on the streets that don't have the deposit. They let us know, and we're more like guardian angels where we just go cover the deposit. Most of the veterans don't even know it was us who do it.
Denny Schaefer of Q105 Radio joins Ken Leslie to talk with Lee Conklin about this huge event. A big disco party that'll raise money to house homeless veterans here in Toledo. You can watch the full interview on Conklin and Company at 11 o'clock Sunday morning. Here's a preview of what will be in the Sunday edition of the Toledo Blade. Two brothers are without a college fund after a Huron County woman allegedly stole their money that their father left them when he died of cancer. The Blade takes a look at how much money the CEOs of local companies make compared to the average worker. And several of our area's most recognizable mothers, grandmothers, and great-grandmothers share the most valuable things they've learned as moms. You can read more about these on the Blade's new Slide app in tomorrow's print edition as well. Well, beer and bacon lovers got a real treat tonight. The Hungarian Club of Toledo held its Beer and Bacon Festival. They had shish kebabs, beer from 18 local craft breweries, even bacon-flavored beer. The club says it's one of the biggest fundraisers they hold.
The numbers each year go up more. This year, the numbers were up from last year, even with the rain. We were really, really happy with the turnout.
Actually, fans of the festival are begging for more bacon, so expect a lot more bacon next year. Still ahead tonight, why teens aren't working during their summer vacation. But will Mother's Day be a washout? Ben is back with your Mother's Day forecast in just 30 seconds.
Now, 13 ABC First Warning Weather with meteorologist Ben Cathy.
Right now, I'm tracking a few storms out there, non-severe, but the bigger story for many of you is Mother's Day. And of course, it does start off with a few thunderstorms. Here's your 13-hour forecast, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Starting out with the thunder and some heavy rain at that. Many could get over an inch, heavy downpours up until about, say, 8 a.m. Some leftover showers to about 11. Notice this quick warming trend to 68, much warmer than we got today. We're about to talk about why that is. Heading into Doppler radar, here is the #1 storm we're tracking right now. Has a lot of a nasty look to it a little bit, but the no rotation. I just checked in the behind the scenes storm relative velocity data, and not too bad. Just a regular old thunderstorm. Grand Rapids, meanwhile, these showers heading to the east-southeast at about 15 to 20 miles per hour, so relatively slow moving, and that's why we have a downpour. Here's Viper, and showing that we have stormy conditions out to the west, also to our southeast. Some severe weather earlier this evening, as promised, staying below this belted line. We call this a stationary boundary, and this rain is just riding along this like a train pipeline. Here's the setup for tomorrow. This pattern sticks in place, an east wind off of Lake Erie, making it relatively mild, but warmer than today. 60s north, 70s in the middle, and below this line will be in the 80s with more of a south wind as that starts to nudge up and down throughout the course of the afternoon. Spring headlines, the storms roll on with a brief break tomorrow afternoon, but that rain is back again next week. Now, not only here, but across the entire Midwest and the Great Plains, we have a Midwest battleground. Hot temperatures to the south, more March-like or April-like up to the north, just like we had today, just like we'll have tomorrow. Let's talk about the rainfall totals on top of what we see the next couple of hours, which is around ½ an inch. We could be looking at a few more downpours, so wouldn't be shocked in the least if by Lima and Upper Sandusky you have closer to 1 inch. But the rain is all done after about a 12-hour stretch here. By midnight, under an hour from now, there's still some thunderstorms towards Lima and Upper Sandusky. Notice some more showers along the turnpike. That's this orange line going from west to east. Let's stop the clock. 6:30. Clock in the upper left-hand corner. Notice the downpours are starting to close out, but we still have a few showers at 9 a.m., even up to about 11 a.m. By 1 p.m., things are looking better. A few holes in the clouds for Mother's Day at the tail end of the day. A decent sunset around 8 p.m. By Monday, a few more showers, a surviving thunderstorm complex moving in, but it will start to weaken around noon as it crosses the Indiana line. But you can't rule out a few thunderstorms there, but they won't be severe. Monday into Tuesday, even more rain. That pattern just doesn't want to leave. For tonight, we go to 48. The rain continues with 68 on tap. A late day high tomorrow. 7-day forecast does get warmer, more seasonal type numbers with our average high above 70 now. We'll be at 75 on Tuesday. More showers and then a couple of day break before temperatures close to 80 and rain to close out the week.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to tease 80 degrees all week long.
Yeah, after tomorrow, things really go up.
All right, Ben, thanks. In the economy and you, a new report says fewer teenagers are working during their summer breaks. Business Insider says almost 60% of teens in 1979 had a job, 60%, but today that number's just 34%. The reason? Summer homework for advanced placement and honors classes. Experts say that prevents kids from working during the summer. Sports is next. Hens hitting the long ball, but was it enough? Plus, a nearby Big Ten school offers Jeb Jackson a scholarship. But first, here's a look at tonight's winning lottery numbers from your official lottery station, 13 ABC.
Now, 13 ABC Action Sports with BCSN. Here's Joe Nugent.
Hens playing some good ball. They won 5 straight headed into the series opener at Louisville, which they then lost. So they're trying to get back to their winning ways, and the ball is flying out of the park. Kristen Stewart, who's one of the top power hitters in the International League, hammers his 9th of the season over the fence. It is a 3-0 Toledo lead. Kenny Wilson follows suit in the 4th inning. This also a solo blast, and the Hens flexing some muscle, 8-4. A doubleheader at Comerica. Rain washed out yesterday's game. Tigers-Mariners tie game 6th inning, where Jose Iglesias knocks in 2 of Detroit's 3 runs with a shot to left. That clears the original fence. Detroit takes game 1 4-3. Seattle wins the nightcap. It is cold in Cleveland. How about the first place Indians, a club that is below 500? Weak division, hosting one of the worst teams in it, the Royals. Francisco Lindor thinks he has a home run. Another look, and yes, it just clears the fence. One of 2 shots for the man that just shaved his head thanks to a bet. Cleveland wins 6-2. His high school team went undefeated this year. All right, MAC baseball, the second to last weekend of the season. Toledo hosts Ball State. The Cardinals, second inning, bases loaded. Matt Hansen lays off that pitch that just misses outside. Trace Hatfield comes home and it cuts a 2-0 hole in half. Next batter, John Cervello. Hits a 2-run single to left, Rockets in front, and the pitching staff takes care of it from there. Toledo a winner, 5-4. MAC track and field this weekend. Janelle Noe, who is wearing number 3 right here, breaks the conference record in the 1500. She runs it in 4 minutes, 17 seconds.
On your marks.
All right, here's some high school track. The Northern Buckeye Woodmore freshman Ava Beam wins the 3200 in 12 minutes, 8 seconds. Ran most of the race with her fellow teammate, freshman Olivia Thatcher, who takes second. Boys side, Eastwood's Luke Kaufman sits back for the early part of the 3200, then makes his move a couple laps in, winning by 3 seconds. Girls 200 meter, a huge day for former 13 ABC Athlete of the Week, Rossford's Katie Clark. She wins 4 events, including the anchor leg of the 4x400, setting a conference meet record in 4 minutes, 12.24 seconds.
It felt amazing, and all of my strength to do it, all of it. The team today worked amazing. Karis placing first in the 300 meter hurdles, and I know she was doubting herself.
I decided not to go out with the fast people because I like the thrill of the chase, and I just spent the rest of the time chasing them down, listening to my coach tell me what slits they were at, and just trying to keep getting them better every time.
A winning strategy right there. Hey, Cavaliers, just 1 step away from a 4th trip to the NBA Finals, and what do you know? They have a little rest before the next series.
It's weird because I was sitting with some friends when I was watching the Western games, and then I was watching the Boston game on Wednesday. And I find myself getting mad at some of the things that's happening on the floor, and I'm like, oh, you're supposed to be just relaxing right now. So, you know, I really can't ever just kind of relax.
You know, Bron might be the biggest fan out there of the NBA. He's watching games every night. It all begins 3:30 tomorrow, a rematch of last year's Eastern Conference Finals against Boston. James seeks an 8th consecutive trip to the finals. He's also ended the Celtics season in 4 of the previous 7 years. Another huge offer for Maumee Valley guard Zeb Jackson. Chris Holtman at Ohio State joins Cincinnati, Dayton, Providence, Duquesne, Toledo, and Akron. His first offer in the Big Ten, although Michigan and Michigan State are interested. By the way, he's grown 2 inches since the end of the season. Zeb now 6 feet, 3 inches and playing big. All right, still to come. Jack Nicklaus shares his vision for the future at the Memorial. Plus, can Webb Simpson extend his lead at the Players? There is nothing like the month of May at Indianapolis. The 500 just 2 weeks away. IndyCar Grand Prix today here in Speedway, Indiana. Far more congested going into turn 1 of this race than the one at the end of the month, but shocked they actually get through it without a problem. But not turn 2. Simon Pagenaud off after contact with Elio Castroneves and Jordan King. Last pit stop, Will Power in a drag race with rookie Robert Wickens. Power gets him by a nose, and he will stay out front for the win. It is the 200th for Roger Penske, and he hopes 201 is right around the corner. We are just a few weeks away from the Memorial in Dublin. This is the Legends Luncheon featuring the tournament host Jack Nicklaus and this year's honoree Hale Irwin. It raised more than $1 million for families and patients at Nationwide Children's. A strong event just like the tournament, one of the best on tour.
We keep growing in stature in the world and what we are, and you know it's as premier event as there is on the tour, and we're going to continue to grow and work at it to make it that, continue to be that.
We're also thinking Tiger Woods will be there at the end of the month. Third round here at the Players, Webb Simpson started the day with a cushy 5-stroke lead. Well, it's now 7, a 4 under 68 for Webb, including that eagle out of the trap at number 11. He's 19 under, tying Greg Norman 54 hole course record. But remember, Norman set that back in March when the tournament was scheduled there years ago. So it's a little softer back then, so this might be a little more impressive.
19 under, though. That's domination.
Yeah, I know.
And he's figured out that course.
Yeah, tomorrow should be a cruise.
Joe, thanks. We'll be back in a minute. We are back tomorrow at 6. Enjoy Sunday with your family and treat your moms well. We'll see you later.